we're going to bring this in. I've been trying to find the perfect opportunity, segue, whatnot, but it's not coming. So we're gonna dive right into this.
Is that an issue you always have?
No, I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to Five's a Crowd, ladies and gents. We are your 5 best friends here. We got Cam, Chris, Austin, Zach, myself, Tony.
Hola.
Buongiorno.
We're the 5 best friends that anybody will have.
Yes. We're
Wolfpack.
5-man Wolfpack.
You're such a Zach.
You are our Zach.
Rooflin.
I don't know if that's...
It's called a satchel. Indiana Jones had one. Anyway.
I always love those guys, like on Emperor's New Groove, and he's like, yeah, that's a dress, and that's a or no, what does he say?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Toga.
That's a harp, and that's a dress. He's like, robe! That sissy stringy music thing. We've been through this. It's a harp. Yeah, that's a harp, and that's a dress.
Oh, the angel and devil. Yeah, now I remember.
He's like, robe! Anyway.
Nice. Well, we are glad to have you all here with us again. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you don't enjoy this coming episode, we definitely have more for you. So check out our other stuff. This particular episode is going to be parental advisory.
Oh,
so
What the devil? I have no idea what's happening tonight.
Cam's lost.
I have no idea what we're doing.
Here's the thing, if I'm being honest, the 3 of us broke away and we started planning the videos because y'all ain't putting in shit.
See, and I realized I was like coming in here.
What
I was
are you
like,
talking
I was like,
about?
I don't remember anyone
I'm just
talking about videos tonight.
I'm just kidding, Chris. No, you actually put in the history idea, right?
Right.
You want to do that tonight?
I give suggestions, and I don't get jack shit either. So
I host most of these.
I don't, because I know my strengths, and that is not one of them.
anyway,
I'm
thanks for
excited to
joining
be
in
able
for
to
the
sit
last
back.
episode of Five's a Crowd because
Three's amigos.
I'm just happy to be here. That's all.
yes, we're all happy to be here.
Listen,
All right.
hold on. Jury's coming out right now. Whenever we have to research a topic, who's the 2 that mostly research the topic?
That's true.
Who?
I do.
You're
Three.
like, I kind of did.
I don't.
But who's the most prepared when we have to research?
You.
No. Him. But
No, he's not.
Chris, you are.
You
Cam
are,
is just
you
quick
are the
on the
most
laptop.
prepared.
oh,
Here's the
I'm
thing.
upset.
Do you want me to pull up all my
I'm
notes?
not.
Listen.
I'm really not.
All the notes that I
The only
prepared for
reason why
many of
we
the
plan the
episodes we've
videos
done?
is because when we're texting, we're the only 3 that respond. So it's like, hey, we'll plan the videos, and then we'll tell you what we're filming so you can do what you're good at.
This is the first
which is
time this has
research.
happened.
There we go.
And then
All right.
he can pull up all of his magic stuff
We're
on
having
the
a
laptop.
business meeting live on air right now.
Hey, I do all the research beforehand, make notes, and then I pull it up here.
That's a lie.
I just see you on a website
Oh, really?
reading through
That's
it
a
real quick.
lie.
I do both.
You go, I got a timeline I wrote down, and it's somebody else's timeline that you like scrolling through real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also, do you need me to pull up all the notes?
They're trying to divide us. They're trying to divide us.
You're letting it happen.
Who's they?
I'm sorry. Who's they people?
I'm just happy to be here.
I do too.
Who's this they people?
I'm just happy to be here.
These roofies you keep talking about.
Is anybody else's face burning?
All right, continue. Sorry. Rant over.
Yeah, what are we talking about tonight?
Well,
This jug's too big.
Oh, Chris, you all right?
Ain't no
good.
such thing as big jugs. I mean,
Hey, it was
just-
Too big of jugs?
Too big.
It was in
jugs,
my
there we go.
space right here, and it just kept flicking
There
with my
is.
fingers.
alrighty.
I like big jugs in my space.
Okay.
So
You're just happy to be
I'm just happy to be
I think
here.
you mispronounced my face.
It's Fasse.
No, he said space.
Did he?
Oh.
I look past your
Space was
flaws.
supposed to say face.
He's like, hey, I like big jugs in my space. And I said, you mispronounced face.
All right, squirrels.
Sorry. Now we've loosened up. Now you can bring us back in.
Real quick, actually, I'm sorry. Someone
Start
just
us over.
It's
put
over.
this on one of our recent podcasts, and it was like, y'all talk too much. Like, get to the point.
It's a podcast.
Well, I'm sorry, you single person, that you have an issue with.
I think what they meant was like this when
Oh.
we get on topic about something, and then all of a sudden it's squirrel, and then we spend 10
No.
minutes on that squirrel,
Probably.
and then come back.
Okay, but then they don't know us well.
No, they know us really well. That's what we do.
Basically, they missed the entire point of the podcast.
Start from episode 1.
Okay, continue.
Continue. I'm just
So-
trying to get all the happy out because I have a feeling this is not going to be happy anymore.
Why?
Why?
It's gonna
It's
be
Tony.
dark.
I thought you guys planned this. How do you not know what it is?
Well, I know what it is.
You don't know what it is.
Oh, I don't?
Nope.
Okay, he's going wrong too.
So much for planning.
So
Oh, I missed.
There's
So,
not an open canister over there.
My wife will be
there's a
happy to
bag.
see me. I'm leaving.
Oh, okay.
So in all fairness, so we were trying to plan topics for our on location thing that was supposed to be spooky and
Right.
creepy and everything. And I was trying to find I went to that same website that Austin did his top scary movies, and I was trying to find most notorious haunted houses, things like that, like similar to like the Amityville Horror House. Like I wanted to try and find houses that people knew and kind of research and do that. And I wasn't really having the best of luck, at least not in the way I wanted to. So as I was scrolling, trying to find a good creepy topic, I came across this one, and I think it's going to be interesting. So it's titled 16 Coroners Describe the Gnarliest Bodies They've Ever Seen.
Oh no!
For real. I already had to go through Dahmer.
Okay, but this is just deaths. This isn't like people being sick.
I'm sure it's pretty descriptive.
It is.
Yeah. Right on.
Chris is like, yep, I gave up dinner for this tonight. Wonderful.
Maybe our next episode will be lighter.
We don't have a next episode.
Why don't you come up with one?
I will.
Hey,
I always give suggestions.
it actually might be a good thing we don't have a next episode planned because that one was going to be pretty dark as well. So,
All right, then.
All right. Well, keep in
don't
mind.
spoil it because
Keep in
I will
mind.
do it.
Okay, keep in mind. We were supposed to be on location at a creepy place.
Right.
This wasn't just like, oh, we're just doing creepy to continue the creepy. It was like we were gonna be creeped out in a creepy location with creepy stories.
Super creep.
Yeah, so when this episode comes out, it's going to be past spooky season, but that is why this particular topic came up. So,
Yeah, I'm actually really bummed. We had this really awesome abandoned office we were going to be able to go in. It was acclaimed to be haunted. There was a really awesome spot that I really was looking forward to Cam walking into. And
Look at that face.
I am so sad that it is not working out because there was a room of
Full of
dolls.
mannequins.
Oh my gosh.
ooh.
And they were creepy AF. And I so badly wanted you to just walk in there not knowing and just capture your reaction.
Gross.
And so,
Well, I'll never know.
now, you know, God was looking out for you. You know, maybe he knew you were going to have a heart attack or something. And he was like, no, don't.
He would
don't
have
go.
burned the place down.
Yep, I would have lit it on fire.
It was
All
abandoned.
right.
Anyway,
So we're going to see how this
And
goes.
Go.
This is going to be, again, very descriptive.
oh my God, I don't know if I could do this. All right,
Stop me halfway if
party
we're,
on, Wayne.
Stop.
So
Safe
I,
words.
I haven't read all of these. I've just read the first few.
Safe word is shish kebab. Human shish kebab.
Oh, that's probably one of them.
Here we
Spit
go.
roast.
I'm going to start semi-light here. First one is titled facial dissection of a slain person. So it says trainee anatomically pathology technician here, aka mortician, I guess. The most interesting and creepiest thing I have seen so far was a facial dissection of a slain person. Basically, the face is peeled off from the skull, or peeled off the skull from the chin upwards, but is left attached at the nose to help reorient it back into its original position. In parentheses, even though it can never be perfectly placed back to where it was.
Challenge accepted.
Was very strange to see the inside of someone's mouth folded up over the rest of their face.
Kind of
So
like
the inside of someone's mouth
So,
folded up over.
so
their
it's
face.
up to the nose, folded upwards.
It said the inside of the mouth.
yeah, they have
Yeah,
to
because
cut
it's
into the tissue.
it's torn here and then folded upwards.
Right.
So you're looking at the inside of their mouth.
So you've seen the inside of the lips and all that.
Like the back side of your lips. Right?
Yeah.
So I've had to skin animals for like it's the same principle. You have to skin around the bone and then flip it out.
See? So
You do that?
Caping, yeah.
And then he wears it like a mask. Dances around a bonfire at 2 a.m.
Gross.
It's at 3:30. That's when the magic happens.
3:15.
Do you really do your own taxidermy?
No, I don't do that. No, but when
Start
you're so
calling
let's
them
say
Ed
you
Gein.
kill
Get the meat.
when you get an animal out in the field, and if it's something you want to taxidermy, you have to. You're not carrying the whole head back if you're 4 miles back country. So you skin the cape off, so it's from like the shoulders up, and then you skin all around the antlers, and you skin around the face and everything, and you just ball up that and put it in your pack. Carry
That
it.
leather.
Yeah, the leather and then the hair on the outside of it.
Really?
Yeah,
You just put it
the
in
taxidermist
juicy.
does all the cool work with it.
Thank God you're my friend. Okay, go on.
You don't have antlers, boy.
Not yet.
You're not a trophy.
Hey, you're a trophy in my book.
Oh, thanks, man.
It just means he's going to kill you and skin you. So.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's
I know all the good
it's a
cuts.
messed up compliment, Zach.
I know the prime cuts.
All right. Here's the next one. A jigsaw through the forehead. My ex-wife worked in a funeral home. She said they once had someone take their own life with a jigsaw through the forehead.
Why?
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that.
That would take a minute.
It would take a while.
Which one's
bogging down?
So because I'm not very tool savvy, which one's the jigsaw?
It's the little one
Little-
that has the little blade sticking that goes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And you kind of use it for
You
the
can
sharp
twist
corners
around,
and
yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
Like
I
it
thought.
still doesn't even have a sharp point. So how are you going to get it?
Start from the
Kinda.
side and
It's
work
not
your way
super.
across.
Yeah.
So, kind of to go along with that, it was still in when the body arrived. Apparently, they had to turn it on for a split second to free it from the skull.
Now, could it have been an accident?
No.
There's a lot of force.
But how could it have been?
I feel like an accident would
How-
be stitches.
For
On
it to, like-
purpose is through the skull.
They make like a pointed blade on it sometimes, but usually
Yeah.
on a jigsaw you use another saw to cut, and then that just goes in, and then that's how you do your
I guess what I'm getting at is it had to have been not suicide,
blunt
right?
force trauma.
No, I feel like it had to be suicide.
or
How?
murder.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because-
getting at. Is it had to have been murder?
Or murder, yeah. Because like it doesn't go off by itself. You have to hold the trigger.
Yeah, but
Right.
there's no way you're putting yourself through that kind of pain.
Could you? I don't. Well, it's like that whole thing where they say your jaw is capable of biting off your own finger, but your brain won't let you do it.
Yeah. You literally have
Challenge
to be crazy.
accepted.
Go.
They say
$100 is $100.
they say that to bite through a finger is as easy as biting through a carrot.
I haven't heard that, but I know that they say that our jaw strength can bite.
But I was thinking of that too, and I was like, probably at the joint.
Bones are
Yeah.
pretty
It
strong.
wouldn't be through.
Because through the actual bone, there's no way.
Yeah,
like a
that's
raw carrot, you can still get through it pretty easy.
You just got to snap it.
I hate this conversation. Hey, if you're still here and this is making you queasy, make sure you check out our backlog.
This isn't as bad. I thought it was going to be like the way people murdered people.
Oh yeah, no, this is literally just them on the
That's
table,
okay.
kind of.
I just don't like the man-on-man violence
Oh no,
thing.
I'm
At
sure
least
we're getting there.
At least I haven't gotten there. Like I said, I've only read the first couple. Most of these are going to be a surprise to me too.
Oh,
So
here we go.
You know, back in my day,
Back when I was your boy.
what?
I used to get into some sketch websites with my
Oh, I
friends.
remember those.
Yeah, I think you were one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There was
we used to
what
go
was it,
on.
gore.com. or
Yeah,
something
there
like
was
that.
that one, and then there was. We really probably shouldn't share the names of the websites, but there was a few that like you would come across real photos
Like
or
real crime scene.
Yeah.
Like real.
and there were some messed up things that literally left me with nightmares for many years, and probably caused some at least a little bit of psychological harm.
Like dark web stuff.
Oh yeah,
It was
Oh, yeah.
borderline.
Like they're like people put into squares, like really messed up stuff.
Yeah.
Like suicides where it shows the body.
It was I that was back at the peak of my curiosity as a teenager, right? You're like, I'm curious.
Stuff leaked in from the dark web.
I came
I've
across
seen
one that
pictures
had.
like that from my dad.
I've came across one with video, but the videos weren't like. Well, actually, no. Now thinking about it, they were bad.
Where was that going?
So, well, because the first, I guess they were all bad, but like the first one, I saw this one where it was like a rodeo, but it was like an amateur rodeo in probably like, I would guess like Mexico or somewhere like that, where they're riding with no saddle, no protection, no nothing. And they're riding these bulls and they're getting
They're crap
mauled.
kicked. Yeah,
Like, yeah.
like
and
the
it-
one where the guy's gore goes through his leg.
Yeah.
You seen that one? That's
But-
pretty gross.
Like there was that, but then I got thinking, I was like, then it gets real dark and like there was like beheadings and
Yeah, that's the stuff I don't want to see.
yeah. It's... So, on a lighter note,
I'll watch a grizzly man tear apart a man. Grizzly
like
bear.
that. Did you hear about that wrestling team?
Somebody
shared
said that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's
wild.
crazy.
I had heard about it. Did you see the actual
I saw
footage?
that.
Yeah.
There's actual
haven't
footage
seen the
of,
footage.
of him like his face
So
and stuff.
in
shredded.
Wyoming, this group of 4 wrestlers got mauled by a bear,
Jeez.
and they all fought it off.
Pretty much
Yeah.
saved the life of the one kid.
Yeah,
one
one
kid
kid
was-
was pinned.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is in the pictures, the kid that originally got attacked got the least of it. It almost looked like
He
Yeah.
got the compound fracture.
he
in
got
his
the
wrist.
broken arm. Yeah, but then this other one, he got like the bear came back twice for him. But
Like, say one swat.
what's so funny?
It just
I
takes one
just
swat from those
pictured
things.
a bear and 4 dudes in a wrestling ring.
Oh, jeez.
Just like jumping on the bear, like pile driving the bear.
It's like that guy on TikTok that tells you how to fight animals. Oh, and he's like, first you start with the alpha, and he's like, you do the little spin around,
Right.
pick him up, you pile drive him.
Right.
Then the other 2 are gonna get scared and run off.
Did you see the guy fight the bear on the cliff?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
that one
The
was
one about
intense.
the trout?
Oh no, this is a real.
No, he's
Oh
up.
no,
on,
you're thinking
he's up on the cliff, and the bear's trying to come up at him.
runs at
yeah,
him.
First
and
it
he
comes down
kicks
at him.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
First it
And then
comes
he's
down at
kicking
him.
him from above to stop him from coming back up.
Yeah.
Right.
No, did you see the? This was back when we were in high school. The video of the bear getting the fish out of the cliff.
Oh, yeah.
And then he walks over and there's a guy and he's like, "Oi!" And he's like trying to get the fish from him, and the bear stands up and starts doing a jump.
Switch
And he's
space.
like gonna start boxing. He's like, "Look!" And then the bear goes, "Huh?" And the guy just kicks him in the crotch and then steals his fish and walks off.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Wasn't
classic.
that like a Slim Jim commercial or
Classic.
something?
No.
So,
It
I
was a
thought
Canadian
it was
commercial.
I was gonna say I remember it being a commercial for
Yeah.
something.
Right.
Real quick, that just reminded me of how you talked about the bear attack or whatever and got him on the face. So I watch Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay, and
I like where this is going.
there was one of the guys in the thing who legit, he comes up, has scars on his face, kind of different colored skin or whatever, because he had skin grafts and stuff. And they're asking him what happened. And he's like, I got attacked by a shark. Literally bit him in the head, ripped his skin off, all that stuff. And he's like, yeah, I survived a shark attack. So the guy's getting ready to bring up a meal, and Chef Ramsay looks at him and goes, all right, Shark Bake, what you got for me? I was dying. I was like, only he can get away with
Shark
something
Bake.
like that.
All right, on the topic of food,
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
gross.
Please no.
cooked in a fire.
Oh, gross.
My first case was an elderly male who perished in a house fire. The firemen were unable to extract him until after the fire was put out, so he was completely cooked. What struck me was how similar the smell is to a pig roast.
Ugh.
When I opened the rib cage, it looked just like cooked ribs without sauce. The skin was crackling and oil and juices pooled in the crease between the skin and exposed rib cage.
Oh my God.
I was off pork for about 3 months.
Oh.
Holy crap.
See, I imagine that more like that part in Goldmember, Austin Powers Goldmember. Where he like grabs the ribs, he's like, "Get the skin box, hurry, hurry!" I can't contain myself.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Schultzy.
Good Jim. Oh, see, I don't know.
Going back on that, I just watched an interview with Steve-O. Gosh, what was he on? Some doctor
Probably
show.
meth. Oh, sorry.
That was way back when.
It was slow.
He's clean now.
But he was on a podcast with a doctor kind of guy, and the doctor was curious, and he's like, "What is the most painful thing you have ever experienced?" Because he's experienced a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Definitely 1,000% easiest answer in the world, being burned." He's like, there was one time I got burned. I got 3rd-degree burns on, he said it was like 18 or 24, like somewhere between 18 and 25% of his body got burned.
Dang.
3rd degree.
Jeez.
And he said that was the most painful thing by far he's ever experienced. And so after hearing that, I'm like, okay, that solidified my fear. I never want to be burned in my life.
You know,
Is it
Isn't it-
4th degree or is that just death?
I almost wonder if you would pass out of smoke inhalation before anything else.
You probably pass out of pain.
It depends
before.
on
Or pain or
It depends on the type of fire. Like in a house fire, they say that's the smoke that usually kills you.
yeah.
But if you're just lit on fire,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember how it happened, but it took him like 3 to 5 days to actually go to the hospital for his burns.
oh gosh,
He had these
Jeez.
giant blisters on his arms that were filled with pus and juice and
Right.
he
don't,
just
don't they say that there's a certain percentage that your body will allow, and then after that, the statistic is that you'll die? I want to say it's not a very high number, but it's like if you have
percent of your body.
yeah, like if you have 3rd degrees over a certain percentage of your body, the chances of you living is like slim to none.
Oh wow.
And granted, I think it's because of like infection and things like that,
Yeah.
but even just the pain alone.
Yeah,
But,
and he was saying that the pain
30%.
is it
oh,
30%?
see, that's crazy.
Wait, is that to Tony or to Steve-O?
to me.
No, to Tony.
Tony's point.
Burns that exceed 30% of a person's body can be potentially fatal.
Yeah, and so he was saying that the pain was excruciating the first day, but every day thereafter it got worse and worse and
Right.
worse. And then through the rehabilitation, the skin grafts, he's like, it just got astronomically worse.
Well, I say it's like getting cut over and over and over again because you move and it cracks and heals and reopens and
You know, my ex-brother-in-law, he had crack seal. So that black tar stuff on the road that seals the cracks.
Right.
He had that fall on his hand because he used to do, well, he still does, but the tubing from the truck to what they used to spray it broke loose and some splashed on his hand and they couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
he
it's
had
tar.
Yeah, so they have to wait for it to cool and then they cut it off. And he had a skin graft from his stomach to his hand. And he said that, like, obviously the actual moment was awful, but he said that in the healing process, the skin graft hurt more than his hand.
Have you ever seen them do a skin graft?
Yeah.
They have this roller.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of spikes on it. And they cut the piece off and then they roll it like almost like they're tenderizing
It's like a
it.
derma
So
roller.
it puts a whole bunch of holes in it.
It looks like a net.
looks like mesh.
or mesh. That's
like
a better.
and they put that mesh over where it's supposed to heal and it
It's like
Gross.
it's almost like a reverse cheese grater.
yeah, it's
So
gross,
instead
dude.
of grating it, it's just putting the holes in it.
aerating it.
So this is gonna probably ruin this.
Oh
but
my God.
I tease Jenny all the time about this. So you know at the gas stations how they have those beef jerky slabs that are thin and
Right.
fat and long like that? She loves those, and I tease her. I'm like, "Do you want me to pick you up one of your skin grafts?" She's like, "Stop calling them that. That's exactly what they look like."
Gross.
But yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that the skin graft itself hurts more.
Weird.
But
Man, thank God. Growing up, all my stupid years of playing with fire, I never actually caught myself on fire.
I lit my hand on fire once, and I probably should have went to the ER about it, and I didn't. Because
you live in America and it's freaking astronomical.
yeah.
And you'd rather risk death than to pay a hospital bill.
Yep.
So kind of like we would do with rubbing alcohol. I don't want to get, well, that's about as
the thing we
descriptive.
did in school,
Well, I tried it with bug spray.
You told us this in a podcast.
Oh, I
before.
did? Yeah. Oh, that hurt. Those blisters, they get big. So I can't imagine what Steve-O's look like. But.
Yeah, dude.
All right. This is one I have not read. Toilet brush to the brain.
What?
Here we go. Only secondhand, but I've seen evidence without asking for it. A guy fell in the bathroom and struck the toilet brush handle through his eye socket into his brain. Was barely alive when he arrived at the hospital and didn't make it.
It's a shitty way to
This
Dear Lord.
I was trying to hold it so bad.
I bet he was too. If this had been in a movie, I would have thought it was far too ridiculous. By far the weirdest.
Gross.
Now,
The fact that he was alive, could you?
on the subject of the toilet brush, what was it made of? This thing like solid steel, or are we talking
Plastic.
just straight up plastic?
I mean, if you think of it, just a plastic toilet brush, if you go down on it like that, it's gonna.
was it pointed or was it dull?
Oh, God, I hate this
It
conversation.
was ribbed.
I mean,
It probably
pleasure.
was.
I mean, I'm
for
sure.
pleasure.
Not
You think
pleasurable.
of the size of your eye socket, it doesn't have to be that slender.
Yeah, even dull. I mean, that's the softest part of your face. You just-
It's honestly what terrifies me about dirt biking is you're just going, sometimes you're on small, thin trails and you're whipping past trees with branches and you're like, man, I know I'm going fast enough that if one rogue branch just got in the right angle,
That happened to one of my brother's friends back in junior high.
wonderful. Thanks.
Well, no, this was different. They were playing football during gym. And one of the guys threw a pass and he was going for it. They were off sides or whatever, just on doing like two-man things off the side.
two-man drills.
Yeah. And one of the guys threw it and he went to run for it and he caught it and turned around, went right into a branch. Took
My God.
took his eye out.
That's like Final Destination.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this.
I have a friend that's blind and
Holy shit. That is not something I saw coming.
neither did he. I got you. No, I have a friend that's blind in one eye because he was a janitor in a high school or junior high. It doesn't matter, but he was vacuuming. And he had two extension cords plugged together to vacuum, and he whipped it like this to kind of give himself some slack. And the two connectings came apart, came up, hit him in the eye, and it like instantly, like, gosh, what did he call it? Not like rupture, but punctured his retina. And he said the healing process was the absolute worst because he literally had to spend, I want to say it was like over a month, maybe even longer, literally face down. Like he had to learn to eat face down. Like like a massage table, how they have the donut. He had to stay in those for like a month. He literally had to sleep. He could not move except if it was like to get up to go to the bathroom.
Really?
But he had to eat like that, everything for it to heal.
That was just my mom.
Yeah?
She had some weird thing going on with her eye and she went in and it was actually almost completely detached. Ugh. And so they did an emergency surgery and they did some stuff to it, but the doctor basically saved some time. He did another procedure hoping it would work, and luckily it did. But it ended up causing a bubble to go into her retina, and she had to keep the bubble where it was at, like it could not move. So she spent like almost a whole week with her head down, like she could not move her eye.
Like waiting for what though? The bubble to just disappear?
It was, I can't remember. No, it was doing something.
Probably putting pressure.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the
biggest
pressure.
issue with your eyes is always pressure.
Yeah, it was keeping pressure where it needed to be. And so that bubble had to stay where it was at.
Weird.
Wow. Yeah, when I was a janitor, I used to do the same thing because you'd get in those long hallways or corridors, and being lazy, you're like, I don't want to go all the way walking back. So I just,
Yep.
and whip it, and then sure enough, one time it just comes flying back at you, and you're like, oh shoot! And then you learn to just do the tension thing where you just pull it till it's tight, and then go.
Or where you tie it.
Yeah, you tie a knot where your connection is.
No, he's
Yeah.
talking about
No, from the
unplugging it.
wall.
Oh, from the wall.
Oh,
Yeah,
from
he's
the
talking
wall.
about unplugging
No,
it
you
from
start
the
doing
wall.
it instead of going up, you do it sideways. Whoopsh.
Oh yeah. Well, I just would pull it till it was taut, and then dunk, and then just keep pulling it.
I was never a janitor.
Oh, you're missing out, man.
shows.
Sanitation engineer. It's a great,
it
great
shows.
job.
I was close. I worked on a golf course and had to clean the bathrooms, but nothing beats being the ball guy on the driving range.
Like playing with balls, dude.
I do.
Yeah,
Cleaned him up real nice.
You get Cam shooting at you, he's going to break the tractor. So
Yeah, buddy.
Real
All
quick,
right.
I want to
Oh.
show you this picture of Steve-O's arm.
Oh, that doesn't look real.
Yeah. It looks like giant
Ugh.
like water balls on his arm.
Gross.
The one by his tricep is huge. Look at the one down by his tricep.
Oh.
It's just
Nope.
like a giant bag of water underneath his tricep.
Jeez Louise.
Freaking gross.
nope.
Nasty.
All right.
That's nasty.
This one looks like it might be a couple different examples. It's called Lots of Weirdness. I've seen a few in my life, though not being the part of the ME, medical examiner, or coroner. In the past, I worked as a deputy, so every so often we'd have to do calls where inevitably we ran across deceased persons. A couple that stick in my mind as being the most bizarre. Responded to a house after a man's wife called to report her husband had been attacked and sexually accosted. Oh dear.
Uh-oh. This is where it gets dark, folks.
We arrived to find the man perished with no pants on in the barn. Best we could ever figure out was the man had been having relations with a small pony and ended up being mounted by a stallion. Perforated his intestines as he bled out.
Oh,
Straight from the horse's
I'm not gonna
mouth.
lie, the logistics don't make sense.
Where?
I just
We'll make it fit.
I was gonna say,
like how does it guide it in so flawlessly?
Have you ever? Never
I don't
mind.
know if it actually needed to go in.
It's just
It broke his intestine.
Well, but I don't know if it needs to go in a hole.
outward pressure.
I think this guy was kind of allowing it to a point.
Oh.
that's what I was
See?
kind of getting.
Yeah.
Stallion got a little excited.
We had another that took the better part of 2 years to solve. In that case, a young boy about 15 was found wrapped around a pine tree, wearing only his boxers. By wrapped around, I mean in the sense of every bone in his body broken.
Oh.
His friends were talking, or his friends weren't talking on what happened, and while, yes, foul play was suspected, we couldn't exactly arrest on suspicions. Eventually, about 2 years later, after one of his buddies had been picked up on a somewhat minor trespassing charge, he came clean. Apparently, the boys had a game where they would play where they would get drunk, then catch one of the passing freight trains. As the train neared the usual swimming hole, the boys would jump off the train down into the water. Supposedly, when the train neared the usual bridge, the boys in question mistimed his jump and ended up wrapping himself around a tree. The other boys were just too scared to admit what they have been involved in.
Oh, so they didn't actually perform it. Like they didn't like shove him or anything.
No, he was just
He was
drunk.
under his own free will.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
And
Should have
then
played more video games.
same guy. One that was never solved involved a set of remains that were found inside an old brick smokestack during the stack's demolition. What gets weird about it is the man had apparently starved, so that ruled out him as having fallen inside the stack. There wasn't a ladder on the outside of the stack, nor a door to access that area. The smokestack was tied to an old school and had last been used sometime in the mid-1950s. The remains were dressed in clothing typically of the 1970s, which just made things even stranger. We identified the body as being a young man who had gone missing sometime in 1974, though beyond that, the trail went cold. Never figured out how he got himself in there in the first place.
Maybe it was a
Interesting.
case of, I think I shared that one on here before, where the guy was running from the police and ran into a grocery store and then ended up finding a place up in the rafters, and he snuck his way and he went down one of the pillars.
Oh.
And finally there was juices and nasty smells coming out one of the front pillars of the store, and they ripped it open and found his dead body because he wedged himself in there and then couldn't get himself out. But he was running from the police.
Was that on our Darwin episode?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
And he didn't knock or anything to like.
He might have been so wedged he
I
couldn't.
think he was just so wedged he couldn't move.
Like slipped in there and just
Yeah.
stuck.
You know, funny thought. That just reminded me. Do you remember in the movie Rookie of the Year when the goofy guy locks himself between the two hotel doors?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Home Alone dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
so
man.
creepy, man.
That part, it does. It's like funny in the movie, but it's like that thought really would be terrifying. That'd be like buried alive.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Ugh. Do you remember like the old hotels, how they'd have the combined doors, but each hotel side had its own door, so there was a gap of maybe 6 inches?
Oh, okay.
Some still have that.
Do they?
Yeah. Disney Hotel does.
Ooh, this one sounds interesting. Steamed like a
It's
lobster.
my elbow. What?
Steamed like a lobster.
Dante's Peak.
What's the worst way to perish? Is the next most asked question, to which Melanick usually replies, "You don't want to know." When people insist, however, she tells them about Sean Doyle. Around Christmas 2002, bartender Doyle went out drinking with pal Michael Wright and Wright's girlfriend. As they all walked home, Wright thought Doyle was hitting on his girlfriend, and witnesses later told cops they saw a man getting the crap beat out of him. He was heard screaming, "No, don't break my legs." And another witness said he saw someone throw Doyle down an open manhole. The drop was 18 feet. At the bottom was a pool of boiling water from a broken main. Doyle didn't perish instantly. In fact, as first responders arrived, he was standing below, reaching up and screaming for help. No paramedic or firefighter could climb down to help. It was a Con Ed supervisor said 300 degrees in the steam tunnel.
Oh my gosh. So he literally just like boiled alive.
For hours.
I think if they could have even saved him, he still would have died. That's just...
For hours later, Sean Doyle's body was finally recovered. Its temperature was 125 degrees. The medical examiners thought it was likely way higher, but thermometers don't read any higher than that. When Melanick saw the body on her autopsy table, she writes she thought he'd been steamed like a lobster. His entire outer layer of skin was peeled off, and his internal organs were literally cooked.
At some point, right, you're at the boiling. Shoot me.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Put me out of my misery, please. Kill me, please.
Honestly, I think you're dead by then.
I don't know.
But you're suffering.
I
Think of how long it takes you to boil food.
At
noodles.
some point, man. Like, let it rain. I don't even care anymore.
I don't know. I like to believe something horrific like that God is more forgiving and will put you out of your misery in another way.
It says right here,
That's
he
just
otherwise
me.
had no broken bones and no
Yeah,
head
somebody shoot
trauma.
you in the head.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, I don't know, man. Did you see the way God went
That's
out?
divine
I don't know if there's... I don't know if he has pity for us after that. No,
He
I'm
otherwise had no broken bones and no head trauma, which meant he was fully conscious as he boiled.
kidding. Yeah, no thanks. Oh, my God.
Goodness.
Steamed. That's even worse than boiled.
I mean, just think of like when you
Oh,
do
no.
A
like
little bit of both.
Yeah.
when you're taking a lid off of a hot pan of
Right.
boil and that steam hits your hand for that sec.
Right.
Now amplify that over your whole body.
So maybe here's what I'm thinking is maybe he was fully conscious, but maybe spirit-wise it just wasn't there.
But they said he was screaming.
He suffered through
Like
it all.
I don't know, man.
There's no
I just-
bright side to this.
I just like
I know you're trying to bring
I
light
just
to it,
like
but
to
I don't think there is
believe
any
that-
light.
Sometimes there's just dark shit, and that's one of them.
maybe he shouldn't have been flirting with the guy's girlfriend.
well,
Oh, Doyle doesn't rule after all.
I was going to crack the same joke.
Doyle rules.
Oh, man.
Where are we at? All right, one more. I've been saving this one because I thought it was
Oh, gosh.
corpse stew.
I already feel
This
like
was on Ranker?
Yeah.
What? How many votes do these have?
Is this number one?
There is no votes.
Are you on the right website?
Yeah,
I already feel
Look
like
at
I'm
A
gonna
lot of
throw up.
ads.
I know.
You got to start using Brave.
Okay.
That's what I use.
You don't get any ads.
What's
it's awesome.
Brave?
It's a,
It's a browser.
Yeah.
All right. Corpse stew. Taking one's life by pills and alcohol. That in itself isn't that shocking. The individual took an entire bottle of sleeping pills, drank a half a bottle of alcohol, and got into their hot tub. The individual perished, but the body remained in the hot tub until the smell of the decomp alerted neighbors. If you could imagine a body decomposing, then liquefying in a hot tub, it still really doesn't do the actual sight of it justice. The smell was so intense that many of us vomited, including the guys from Aftermath Inc., hired by the family to clean up. Best I can describe it is the individual perished in a hot tub, which then became a giant crock pot of corpse stew.
Austin's listening to music in his head.
Yummy.
Dude was slow cooking for days.
Can you imagine how tender that meat is?
Oh,
Bro, I bet you
Were
that's
the
a...
jets on? Nice. Or did they get
Pulled
clogged?
sandwich.
Yeah, you know.
Not
Well, that's good
104.
eating.
One of
Yeah, at
those
least need
websites.
200.
Little
I'm
bits of
sorry, man. I'm
carrot
trying
floating
to spin this in a comedic way, and I can't. It just makes it more dark.
One of those websites that we were talking about earlier, I remember a story on one of
I
those.
remember seeing pictures.
Yeah, and there was a picture of this one too. But this guy had some kind of contraption that kept his bath water warm. And he ended up dying in the bathtub, but because he had this contraption, it kept the bath water warm. By the time people actually found him, the authorities went to reach in and pull his body out, and they literally just pulled bones out. Like the skin and everything was, but it just like fall off the bone type.
Good old ribs. Right?
I mean,
there.
legit.
Blue ribbon ribs right there.
Sinew tissues all broken down.
Yeah, for real. For real. You know, to win a competition, though, you do want it a little bit chewy.
You want a
Just
little bite to it.
A little bite.
Yeah.
You don't just want mush.
No.
So
It's
that's
true.
not blue ribbon. That's not blue ribbon.
Gosh.
Gosh, dang it. This is ruining my smoked meats for the weekend.
can we be done? Are we done?
We're done. I'll be done.
I'm going to throw up everywhere.
So gross.
I already feel like I'm gonna throw up.
We haven't even made it like a half hour.
What?
I don't think we have.
We've been recording.
We've
about
been recording for 55,
57.
but it took us at least 20 minutes to get going.
Was it 20?
Bro, at least.
I thought it was 10.
Then we'll
At
do Tony's
least.
list and stuff.
Tony's what?
Tony's list and stuff. And we'll just play.
Oh, I'm so sick to my
I mean,
stomach,
gross.
man.
What do you guys want to talk about then to kill the next little bit? Because I can keep going. There's more.
Oh, I gotta go poop. Not
Ooh,
really,
a
but
double decapitation.
Oh my God.
Should we give it a shot?
Two
It's
for
short.
one.
I'm a funeral director / embalmer. I never really been creeped out by anything, but what has to be the most WTF moment was a double decapitation of a husband and wife from a motorcycle accident, or a motor vehicle accident, excuse me. Took almost 9 hours, but took almost 9 hours, but both could have an open casket when we were done. Good job to
there's
them.
the positive side.
Sewed them
Hey.
back on.
stay on the sunny side, always on the sunny side.
You want to know what?
Ooh, there's a good
Speaking
one
of coroners, I actually have connections with a coroner in, I think it's Boise.
Oh,
Maybe
gross.
it's somewhere in Idaho.
I would love to.
And we could totally go and try it.
Men try
Men try.
I want
working
to.
on your loved ones.
They're like embalming a body or
Jeez.
staying
I've always
overnight.
been so fascinated. So one of my coworkers, he's getting ready to go to medical school, and he's in the part of school where they work on cadavers. And he was saying, he's like, the very initial day, because they start with one cadaver, and then as class goes, they're slowly cutting it to the different parts that they're studying. So initially, it's just a full body because they're talking about the different body parts, the skin, things like that. But he said, he's like, that first week or so, it was hard. He's like, but after that, you just start to look at it like a study guide in a sense. But the crazy thing is, so they have a man and a woman, and they have names. Like, he's like, I think it's their actual name. We don't know last names, but he said it's Robert and Nancy. It's like, that is nuts.
You're strolling. Whoopsh, turn on the lights. What's up, Robert?
But like he was saying, after that phase, the next one was down to muscle.
Yeah.
They took off all the skin. It was down to muscle. Then next they literally chopped the face down vertically and had like a side view of the, like, I'm just like,
Just gotta like.
What do they
breathe.
cut it with?
oh, the class themselves don't. I guess they have the pros do it and then they bring it in for the class
But
to
how do
study.
they cut it?
Oh, I have no idea.
Talking like a bandsaw.
Jigsaw.
Gosh dang it.
One of those
That's what it was.
gigantic.
The guy fell asleep in a morgue,
Honestly,
and they went to Jigsaw's face in half and realized he was alive.
it's probably the same equipment they use for like butchering at butchering
yeah,
plants.
that's what I'm saying. A bandsaw.
It is, yeah. It's a giant bandsaw.
Wow.
Here's another one. Swallowed a fishbone. My sister works as a histologist and has helped out for 1 or 2 autopsies. She told me a story of how when they were doing an autopsy on this guy, his bowels were extremely swollen, hard, and stuck together. On further examination, he swallowed a fishbone, which pierced his stomach into his intestines and skewered them together.
Gross.
Gross.
I have heard if you ever get a fish somehow stuck in your throat, you just shove it in.
Yeah,
'Cause you can't pull it
the
out.
scales.
The scales will.
That was actually on 1,000 Ways to Die, that one TV show. This guy was fishing, trying to pull it in, and he gave it one good yank, and it came out of the water and went into his mouth, and he grabbed it by the back fin, trying to pull it out, and
That's why I don't fish.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That one fear. Swear, mouth guard.
could you imagine one
whole
actually
face
comes
mask?
out, hits off your mouth guard, you're like, whoa, that was a close one.
yeah.
It's only been 50 years, but I knew this moment was coming.
Worth every penny.
Got a weird tan line. Makes it look like
It's like a
Sell it to
freaking.
the lambs.
It's like a hockey goalie's mask.
I don't think it'd be the scales. I was just thinking about this. It'd be the ones that have the spines that come back, like that have the dorsal fin spines. There's some that have that. That's what it would be. That would let you pull it back out.
Can I join in on this fun?
Oh my God, we're doing more. Thought we were gonna try and
Are you
change
on the same
subject.
site?
No, I'm on a different one.
Oh boy. Okay.
He's on the dark
Might
web.
as well join in if I can,
If you can't beat him, join him.
Yep, exactly.
Go.
I'm sick to my stomach.
I
right
hate
now.
this shit so much.
Here's the quit button if you ever want to quit the podcast.
We did say we can.
The veto.
Nope, gotta go. All right. Went to a death once where the guy had suddenly dropped at the side of the road, and his coworkers didn't know what happened. He worked for a company cutting grass verges in our town and had to ride on a mower, which transported on the back of a trailer. The back of the trailer dropped down to form a ramp, but was held under tension by a spring.
No.
It turned out the bolt holding the spring was rusted, and on this occasion, the tension of the ramp coming down and sheared off the bolt head and fired it at him with huge force from the sudden release. It hit him square in the carotid artery. Carotid artery.
Carotid artery.
Didn't pierce the skin at all, but ruptured it under the skin, causing him to die within seconds.
All right.
Jeez.
Says weirdest deaths I have ever been to. If it had hit him anywhere else, he would have had a big bruise and nothing more. There was a square inch or so of an area where it had the ability to be fatal, and it got him. Final destination type weirdness.
100%. That guy dodged death somewhere else.
Yep.
That weirdness reminds me of that. Was it you that shared it? There was someone that shared a clip of a guy trying to rob a bank or something.
Oh yeah.
And the guy comes in. I think it was you that shared it because you're all about like gun safety and
Right.
concealed
But it was a
carry.
knife. Are you talking about the
No,
knife?
no,
the
no,
one
no,
where
no,
you get
that was-
shot in the neck.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one.
There's like a security guard that wasn't like fully like ready to go, but then he like somehow just whipped out his gun and shot and somehow got him right in the carotid artery and literally just was like spraying blood all over the
Oh, that.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
trying to get out the door and he was just like going
Yep.
around and panicked and you could just see.
Yep.
Who, the security guard or the...
No,
No,
the
the
robber.
security
The
guard
robber.
got the
Robber.
shot off to the robber.
But he got shot too, if I remember
he
right.
did, but he got
Yeah.
shot in the vest.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the
But that-
robber literally got shot in the neck and it was just spraying like you'd see in those weird
Right.
like,
Yeah,
Kill Bill films.
I was about to say, movies don't exaggerate that, man. That's
I mean, it
brutal.
has to happen just right, but it was wild watching him just. Anyway,
We watched him just fade too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was way fast. It
See,
didn't
those...
last very
I mean,
long.
think of all the people who avoid a certain death.
I'm going to go for one more.
And then you got someone like this guy who, like, that God was just done with that person.
yeah, and
Like, you just, that's like,
All right.
like you see so many people avoid certain death situations and then the most random, like, what the heck? That was orchestrated.
yeah. Or you have the one where I can't remember what player, but in hockey, they were in the middle of a play, and some guy accidentally, like, I don't know if he tripped or whatever, but his blade went up and hit a guy in the neck.
You know, that has been one of my biggest fears ice skating.
Have you seen it?
No, but
It's wild.
falling and
Did he
having
die?
someone not being able to stop and hit you with their blade or
Yeah.
something.
It's a real thing. Well, the hockey player, and this was in the NHL. Like
why
you
I
can
hate-
actually come across it.
This is why I hate
He
ice
gets
skating.
hit in the neck with the blade and immediately just goes for his neck because it's flayed open, and there's blood just going everywhere. And luckily, I think when they say when that happens, you literally have to act within what is it, like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If
And
that,
luckily, they
probably.
had professionally trained medical advisors there, and they got him all wrapped up and stitched and everything in time. But yeah, he survived, but he was literally seconds away from dying.
I wonder if does that quick clot work on something that severe?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think
No,
too
because
much
you still need blood going through.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't plug
They
it.
say the amount of pressure you got to put on it is insane to keep
Yeah.
it from.
Ah, gosh.
Does that make you gross still and Phil? Anyway, I thought that was
What?
me talking about that stuff. Does that still make you gross feeling or?
No. That's like it's just the gritty grit. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not that good.
I get it.
like the jelly or whatever.
I think of Woody Harrelson's character in Zombieland when they're watching the one girl zombie eating another one. And Jesse Eisenberg, he's like, it just makes you, and he goes, hungry. And he's like, I'm worried about you.
You know, that is one movie that will always be at the top of my ranks.
Dude, it is so...
Zombieland, how did you guys feel about Zombieland 2, though?
Honestly, I think I've only seen it once.
Same.
Yeah, I've only seen it once, but I remember enjoying it. Like it wasn't bad.
It was good, but the first one, oh my gosh. Unbeatable.
There's just big shoes to fill. You know?
Yep. Zach, you said you had one more?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
All
for
right,
one
last
more.
We'll end on this.
Well, then I'm turning it back to Tony for whatever he wants to do.
No,
So,
I'm good. I was
Okay.
going to end a little while ago, but...
all right. This one, I'm not even gonna read the description because it'll give it away. Cause of death was unknown, likely just old age because it was in a retirement community.
Oh, no.
You know those small streamline trailers, just the pure metal.
Oh, yeah, the Airstreams?
Yeah, just that.
Like the camping trailers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the pure metal camping trailers.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The silver tube ones. That's what they're
Yeah.
saying here.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Looks like a silver Twinkie.
yeah.
They're called Airstream.
Yeah. Guy disappeared in January. The trailer was so airtight that no one noticed until June. That
January to June?
Yep. So 6 months that this guy had been missing, and then nobody noticed the trailer, until then. Or
Could you
the
imagine
smell
the
coming from
gas
that.
buildup?
Jeez. Oh no.
Keep going.
Oh, my God.
He bloated.
Seems like a whale's belly, man.
He bloated so bad that he popped.
Oh!
The rest of the soft tissue ended up slot off.
Oh,
Sloughed.
Is that what the word is?
yeah.
Sloughed
Just
off.
kind of rolled off.
Just rolled off. So when they got in there, he said they had to put the skeleton into a bag. And then they had to go on an Easter egg hunt for things like the skin from the hands for his fingerprints.
Why? Oh,
Yeah, for
fingerprints.
fingerprints. Yeah.
Just
They had-
identify him by his dental.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They had found that the fingerprints or whatever floated out of the bathroom, around the corner, and under the bed. He said only time he'd ever had to wear a spacesuit while working.
See, the stuff
Okay.
that you said that bothers me, it's like that one. Like
Gotcha.
that one and like in the hot tub. It's just
Gotcha.
like, that's a lot. That's a lot of
My
imagery.
gosh.
Here's
A lot
the
of
thing.
imagery.
You know, it's
had-
better reading them, actually.
The Airstream has a license plate. Simple deduction. You don't need to open that thing is its casket. Let it bury it. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine
You
what
still need fingerprints. You still need to identify the guy.
But you can do simple deduction.
No,
Guy's been missing for 6 months. It's his Airstream. It's registered underneath him.
The good news,
You
those
still have
Airstreams
to
are built
identify
very
them.
well.
They are
very well.
You know, you can
What
probably
if-
still resell.
what if
resale
it
values
worked-
through the roof on that.
Through the roof. They hold their value.
What if it had worked more like an airplane where someone looks in the window, sees him dead, opens the door, and that pressurizes it, and it boom.
Just that pressure change.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
That's the sound it makes. No, it's just one singular.
That reminds me of the
And you're covered in
Wreck-It
goo.
Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph 2 and the end credits with the little bunny.
Oh yeah.
Ralph keeps
so
feeding
good.
it, and then the girl's watching it, and all of a sudden you just hear go, and then the girl starts screaming.
So good.
That's awesome.
We had a cow that bloated once, and we thought it was dead because it couldn't move. It was so bloated. Then we go there, and its eyes are rolling around.
Did you have to like puncture
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't smell good.
No, I'm sure it
doubt it.
doesn't.
But he lived.
Ugh.
He lived
Well,
till we butchered him.
I'm
taste
happy
good?
that's under our belts.
the meat was kind of airy, I bet.
I bet you we lost some viewers.
I'm guessing we did. That was very graphic. Good job,
Sorry.
Tony.
That-
Or on
That's
the cow.
my bad.
Leave it to Tony to go graphic.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in this week. I know it was dark and heavy and gross,
Sad.
But I'm
Disgusting.
happy.
Hey, but I'm here with my 4 best friends having a great time. And
You love watching us squirm, don't you?
a little bit.
Yeah, I knew it.
But like I said at the beginning, if you enjoyed this by some miracle, then give us a like, subscribe. We do have content all over the map. So try some of our lighter episodes if you didn't like this one.
You know, if you didn't like it, give us a like and a subscribe anyways.
Yeah. If you happen to be a mortician or coroner, I'm just curious. Leave us a comment. I'm curious what you guys come across. That's if any of you are.
Or if you know of anybody, like your parents
maybe
were or
there's law
something.
enforcement out there that has a crazy story.
I can tell you some of the pictures that I've seen from my dad with his crime scenes.
Ugh.
He showed me one, and I don't know why he showed me this picture, but it was a guy who blew his head off with a shotgun.
Oh, wow.
Yep. That is a very graphic picture to see.
We were trying to end on the Wreck-It Ralph Bunny thing, but
Sorry.
hey, that's awesome. So, all right.
I mean, I could go into the description of what I saw.
Please don't.
I don't want to hear anything
All right.
over this podcast.
For the episode that we finally get around to answering your questions, this hashtag's going to be barbecue. Yeah.
Hashtag BBQ.
BBQ.
There you go.
Gross.
And yeah, leave us some questions. We'll put that together, and we probably have enough buildup of questions now we could make an entire episode of it.
We need
so.
to.
Heck,
Yes,
maybe
yes.
we'll do that next.
Yeah, we'll do that next. Also, I thought it would be kind of funny just because I have so much fun. If we can quickly find somebody, I think we could do one of those to go on to the whole death thing.
The Darwins.
Darwin's.
All right.
Lighter spin, maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. All
We'll
right.
let Chris decide.
Well, thank you.
I just go with it.
Poor Chris in this past few weeks for
It's
him.
okay.
We can do the history one.
Okay.
Are you prepared?
I'm always prepared.
Hey, Boy
Hey,
Scouts.
It just doesn't come out though.
All right, end it.
Well, okay. Thank you guys for being part of this crowd. We will see you next week. Love you all.
Ciao.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Arrivederci.
Thanks for being part of this crowd.